Hey everybody, welcome to I'm Not Crying, You're Crying, the show about anything and everything because it's our show. I'm here with Juan.
YOLO.
And Jay.
Hi guys.
And I'm Sean, and this is our theme. I hope someone brings that up. Hey everybody, welcome back to this episode. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. This episode 8.
Don't use the Lord's name in vain.
Is this episode 8?
It is
yes,
episode
that's
8.
what the show notes said. Jesus Christ, it's like you write the show notes, Sean.
We made it to 8. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, I know. It's so crazy I couldn't freaking remember. It's so crazy I couldn't remember. Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 8. Welcome to episode 8. We are we're I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I can see the precipice of podcast starting.
You should probably mention to our couple listeners why you see the light at the end of the tunnel.
So yeah, because in the tradition of a 21st century season, we're going to do 10 episodes, take a couple weeks break, and then come back refreshed, ready, less tired. I don't know, less quarantined. I don't know.
Well, when was the date that you were hoping to be back by?
I don't know, man. I like to keep people guessing. Maybe
2024.
Yeah, maybe when the year doesn't seem to be a dick. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's good because I'm signed on for 10, and then we negotiate my contract, and hopefully I'll be back.
Yeah,
double what you're making right now, Jay.
Huh?
I mean, Juan, you realize since you're the only one working, you're going to have to pay double his salary.
And he's making what, 0 right now? Double 0? Okay, I could.
I'd rather not discuss my pay.
Yeah,
with,
boss. Jeez.
Our listeners.
Hey, but since you were talking about 2020 being a fucked year, have you guys seen the meme that's been circulating of The Rock from the movie Witch Mountain, where he's driving and he goes, "I can't wait for 2020 to be over and 2021 to start." And then the little girl in the back goes, "What if 2021 tells 2020, hold my beer?"
Yeah, I have seen it.
I thought that was the funniest shit ever, man.
It's
one of many memes of 2020.
Yeah.
You know,
it's true. I mean, I think 2020 is telling 2021 or 2021 telling 2020 to hold his beer. It's just, I mean, I think it's the fear, right? That just things are never going to get better. That's kind of, I mean, because that's kind of where we are. It's where we are.
A lot of people thought the same thing after 9/11. You know, there's like, oh, this is the worst. You know, and we'll never rebound from this. But you know, we're resilient as a people, and we'll get through this.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what'll help us?
Glory, hallelujah.
And you know what'll help us get through this time even more? Technology. And Juan, you know, after the last episode, we're
not going to start.
No.
Again,
Come on.
No, we have to do our recap.
Come on. So last week you were.
Hey, did you get your controller yet, Cantley?
No, but it's in the mail. Thanks for changing the subject. But so listen.
Is it really in the mail?
It is. It's going to be here.
It finally shipped?
Yeah, it is. Focus here, man. Focus. So
jingle the keys.
Yeah, right. I don't have keys. So look. So last week we talked about 8K TVs. You seem to be blown away by the fact that they're 8K TVs. So I had a couple questions for you.
Yeah, to the point that Julio texted me. I'm not Julio. Herbert texted me a link to the Best Buy 8K TV. I clicked on it going, oh, maybe he sent me one that's on sale. But no, it's a full price one for $2,900 and something. F that.
That's actually a pretty reasonable price.
Yeah, they're 8K TVs.
Yeah, you're basically looking to the future when you look at this TV. But it got my mind working over the week about whether you can tell the difference between real technology and things they only had in the Jetsons cartoon. Do you ever watch the Jetsons cartoon?
I love the
Absolutely.
Jetsons.
Did you ever see the crossover between the Flintstones and the Jetsons?
Yeah, Jetsons beat the Flintstones. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. So I have a question. I guess my first question is: do you believe that these technologies are real, or they only existed in the Flints The Jetsons.
Jetsons.
Are you ready?
Who are you asking this to, me or Jay?
I'm asking you. Jay didn't seem that surprised by 8K televisions. You, however, seemed like we just invented sliced bread, and you couldn't believe it.
What? They're slicing bread?
And they're putting it in packages, man.
Shut up.
It's true. So, Juan, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
First, the first one, and I'm going to ask you to name an example to prove that you know. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Video calls.
True. Zoom, Facebook Messenger, iMessage on iPhones. Samsung has it as well. And
What
Google,
about hologram?
Yes, Tupac's hologram, Michael Jackson's hologram. Fucking Kanye West just did the Kardashian's dad hologram. More examples?
No, that's perfect. What about 3D printed food?
There is 3D printed stuff. I think they were working on 3D printed food, but I'm not 100% sure.
No, the 3D printed food is only in the Jetsons. For now.
Let's see.
Well, I said for now. I mean, what?
Well,
what about
like lightsabers? The other day, I saw a video of people actually that made a working lightsaber, man.
Well, it's not slicing anybody.
Yeah, it's
No, it is, dude.
It's like literally.
Did you not see the video of the lightsaber that I saw that actually cuts through shit?
No, I'm not on YouTube as much as you are.
Yeah, Jay, it's this guy. He literally creates like a plasma, a beam of plasma so hot that it can cut through stuff. So
yes, but it's not like a true lightsaber. Like there's a cord that's leading to the power source and shit like that.
Apparently that's based on the original Jedi design where you just carried around
where did he get the midichlorians?
Yeah.
No, it's not about the midichlorians. It's about the kyber crystal. Where do you get that?
Well, okay, all right. Well, before I got to tape my glasses up.
Nerd alert.
So, Juan, last one, Juan, last one.
Yeah.
Smart shoes. Do smart shoes exist, or are they only in the Jetson?
Defining smart shoes.
Shoes that know more than you about technology.
No, that was that even in the Jetsons? I don't remember the fucking smart shoes.
No, smart shoes in the Jetsons, but Nike did release a version of shoes, the same shoes that Marty McFly wore.
Yeah, that's not a smart shoe. That's a self-lacing fucking shoe.
Oh
well, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Can you make a shoe that laces itself?
No, but Nike did, and Nike wasn't for the Back to the Future anniversary a couple years back or last year, I can't remember. They released the Marty McFly self-lacing shoes, and then this year Nike has announced that they have the self-lacing technology down, and
they did. They did.
Yeah. So F you. Aside from AKTV, I did pretty well on this fucking test.
You did. You were able to identify all these real technologies. So my question is, why were you so blown away by 8K TVs?
Because that apparently slipped under the radar.
Because it's four times 4K TV, Sean.
Well, I guess that's
two times 4K TV.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because if it's four times 4K, wouldn't that be 16K?
Are you sure?
You know what? Fuck you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm done.
The mathematics on the KTVs is just complicated.
It's true, and just like anyway. You should look up the pixel math, and yes, it's four times more. So anyway, in other news, so I was poking around the internet this week, and I saw that there's an article on actually Herbert sent me an article about from Screen Rant about some other shows from other 80 shows that they could explore and make TV shows out of because we talked about Cobra Kai, I think in the first or second episode.
Yes.
So on this list, and this list won't fucking open because. Lord forbid, they had other classic 80s TV shows. So like,
you mean movies to turn into TV shows, right?
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Movies. I apologize. But that like the Lost Boys, the Goonies.
The Goonies was never a TV show.
No, to turn it into a TV series. To take the Goonies movie and take it into a TV series.
I completely misread the show notes.
I know that you did.
Because I could have sworn that your show notes said TV shows that they turn into movies.
Well, he has that on there as well, but
the story link is right there. It just required one more inch of effort. But anyway, So on the list they have shows like they have movies like The Lost Boy or like Tron and Red Dawn, which I've never seen Red Dawn. The Princess Bride, which I most recently watched as a bet or a dare.
Did you like it?
You know what? It wasn't bad, but I don't understand why people love it so much.
It's so good. It's sweet. It's just a sweet movie, and it's funny.
It was, you know what? There's only one moment that I laughed out loud in that movie, but the rest of it, I knew that they were jokes and I knew that they had humor. I just didn't laugh out loud.
Was it
Marriage? No,
marriage is what brings us together.
No, it was in the beginning of the movie.
The I love you as you wish as he's stumbling down.
No.
Oh.
No. Also, spoiler alert, because this movie's, I don't know, like 30 years old. It's when the two guys are fighting. The I don't know the guy's name. The guy who's avenging his father and
Inigo Montoya.
Yeah, he's fighting and they're both fighting.
He says it
he's like,
through the entire movie.
He does, and I
prepare
can't
to die.
Yeah, so he goes. He tells the guy, he's like, "You're a good fighter. You're doing very well, but I have bad news. I'm not left-handed." So then this fight scene, which has gone on for a very long time already, is maybe 5 minutes, and I wish I was exaggerating, but 5 minutes of a fight scene after he says that, and then the guy he's fighting goes, "I have to tell you something. I'm not left-handed either." And then he switches hands, and the fight scene goes on for another 5 minutes. And I couldn't believe that that had happened. It was ridiculous, and I laughed out loud because I found it so ridiculous.
It's filled with all these little moments that it's really funny.
Yeah, like I said, I saw the humor. I just couldn't. I don't know. It couldn't. That's the only thing that brought a laugh out of me because I found it so ridiculous. But all the memes, all the things that you see about it are. I mean, I get it. I understand.
Well, I mean, I have an emotional attachment to that movie because I've seen it as a kid, so I have the nostalgia aspect of it. So I don't know. I love it on so many different levels.
That's the first time I got introduced to Andre the Giant and Billy Crystal.
Really? Mm-hmm. I think the first time I saw Billy Crystal was in like City Slickers, but I never really watched that movie.
City
Like
Slickers.
I just knew that he was in it.
Jack Palance was in that movie. He played Curly.
Man, I know of it from a periphery. I think my dad loved that movie. I don't even. Yeah.
Which one was the one with the three amigos?
It was called The Three Amigos.
No, but
yeah, it's called.
Who was in it? Martin Short, Steve Martin, and who else?
Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase. There you go. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're all good, man.
For a second, I thought Billy Crystal was in it, and then I'm like, maybe I fucked up on that one. But no, I'm fine.
No, but on this list, and I'll leave this list on the show notes if people want to look at it. But the only movie that I would want to see a show out of is Revenge of the Nerds, because the movies were so preposterous that I just think that like they could do a weekly series where these nerds are just getting revenge on these jocks because the jocks are dicks.
Well, if you're going in that one, what about Animal House?
Well, I mean, it's not on the list, but hey.
I mean, what would they do every week for Animal House?
Have raging parties.
I mean, that gets old after like an episode or two. So.
Really? Power Rangers had the same fucking storyline every...
No.
Power Rangers was geared towards children.
And here's the thing about Power Rangers, man. It was great.
It was
legendary.
It was amazing.
And look, and I'll send you the same meme, which is that before Thanos, all we had as kids was the Green fucking Ranger, which for 6 episodes he completely owned the Power Rangers, and all you wanted to know was how they're going to take them down.
Yeah, he infiltrated their whole friend group, and then he almost took the entire team down.
Yeah, a single Ranger all by himself. And you know what? And on top of that, they forgave him and made him the leader.
Yeah, that's how dope he was.
And the Red Ranger hated him for the rest of his life.
You know what? He does. He does. Have you ever watched any of the interviews? He hates that motherfucker. He doesn't say it. He just goes the original Rangers, and he doesn't mean the Green Ranger.
No,
he's
and
like
then
the original.
All the Rangers except before episode 5.
And then he thought he was going to get his title back as leader when the Green Ranger went away and he became the White Ranger.
No, and then they just recasted a bunch of people.
No, it was still the original Rangers when he became the White Ranger.
They introduced a bunch of new characters.
Yeah, like shortly
Yeah.
after they the pink,
No, because
the red,
because
and the black
because I
ranger.
No, the
remember
yellow, the
I
black,
remember
and the blue.
Oh fuck, you're
Yeah.
right.
all I remember is it was Green Ranger, and somehow he lost his powers. Zorg or whatever his name was.
Zordon.
Zerg is a Toy Story.
Okay, Zordon said that he created a new Ranger, which was the White Ranger, and the Rangers were pissed off that if he could do this, why didn't he do it with Tommy?
Well, the thing is that Rita had taken the Green Ranger power, and Zordon was too lazy to go into the morphin grid until he absolutely had to. But the producers of the show had talked to Zordon and was like, look, there's a lot of preteen girls out there who just had their awakening because Tommy Oliver was on this show. We need to bring him back. So now they brought back Tommy Oliver as the Green Ranger. There it is. And now he's a fucking legend. He's the only Ranger that matters. The only one. There's been like hundreds of Rangers, but he's the only one that he's been in like multiple series.
Yeah, like he bridges generation gaps. Like people, millennials know who the Green Ranger is. They know who Tommy is.
Yeah, he's the only Ranger ever to have a Megamorpher, which allows him to become all of his previous Ranger forms. It's legit. Speaking of, I'm
not gonna lie, you kind of lost me with the Megamorpher.
It's okay. I love Power Rangers. I think
don't you
know that.
You own one of the morphine packs or whatever?
I do. I have a Megazord pop. I have the Morphers. I have Power Coins.
How often have you tried to use it?
Listen. We don't talk about how often I try to use it. I just wait for the kids to go to sleep.
And then you pointed at the sky and you screamed the dinosaur name.
I do. Well, it would just be Dragonzord, and I hope.
Can you give me your best Dragonzord?
I would, but you know what, man?
Come on,
I'm not going to.
Just come on for the listeners. I want to hear it, like you mean it.
Like I mean it.
Rangers, Rita's destroying the city. We need your help,
guys. We gotta go. It's morphin' time. Dragonzord.
Oh.
and then it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. But you know what? That's probably why it doesn't work.
I remember when either McDonald's or Burger King gave them away in the kids' meal, and yeah.
A lot of your memories are connected to fast food restaurants.
Or Mexico. Was this a fast food restaurant in Mexico?
I believe so. Yeah. I was in Mexico when the Power Rangers were when I was watching them. Yeah.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
So are you guys sorry, go ahead. I didn't cut you off.
I was gonna say that I think an 80s movie that would make a great TV show would be The Never-Ending Story.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, because then you could dive more into the world and the lore and all of it, and it'd be great to see on a weekly basis.
Yeah, that's true. And you know what? I think they tried to do that in The Never-Ending Story 3, but then like that kid from Free Willy was just too old, and like it just didn't feel the same. It didn't feel the same, even though like if I think it was it part 1 or part 2 where what's his face is just wasting wishes. He's like climbing up the mountain, wishing for stumps to climb on. Meanwhile, the childlike empress is just dying.
I think that was the first one.
Yeah, it's I still laugh.
It's been a while since I saw those, and it doesn't really stick to me that much.
The Never-Ending Story has one of the saddest scenes in a movie that I've.
Yeah. Are you gonna say the horse scene with the tree?
Yeah, it's the worst, man. I watched it like 2 months ago, and that scene happened, and I was bawling. I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah, no, it's that is a sad scene, and it's if you have a thing for horses or just animals, you just and the poor kid. I mean, kudos to him because he sold it. That horse is dying. Yeah. That horse is gonna die.
He lost his best friend right then and there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, man, that's a and Never-Ending Story would be great. Never-Ending Story would be great. I don't on the list they had Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but
they tried to do that as a TV show.
Did they really?
Did
they did. It was awful.
I can only imagine because like
was it called Ferris Bueller's Day Off or
it was just called Ferris Bueller.
Really? And who played Ferris Bueller?
I have no idea, but I know that they made this TV show.
I need to look it up.
You know what other movie would make a great TV show? But the licensing would be a nightmare. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Like that would be great to see as a weekly series.
That would be good. That you know what? Like I'm scrolling through the list again. I'm like, Who Framed Roger Rabbit would be good, and the animation would be so good now that I don't even know if it. if it would play well, but it would still be fun. It'd be super
Oh yeah,
fun.
they could do different styles of animation, you know, and have it all like come together in this weird, like fantastic TV show. You know, they could bring in like the Animaniacs and you know, like all these cartoons from all these generations all together in this one TV show. But you know, again, the licensing would be a nightmare to try to get, you know.
Yeah,
Speaking
but
speaking
go ahead.
speaking of cartoons, you guys saw that they're relaunching Tom and Jerry?
No, I saw Animaniacs. I didn't
Yeah,
see
well,
Tom and Jerry.
Animaniacs is relaunched as a TV show on Hulu. In fact, I think it's already out or will be out this week. Tom and Jerry is going to be a movie.
You know, another one. They did one like I think in the early '90s or late '90s or early 2000s.
This one mixes
It's
live
live
action.
action with cartoons. Yeah.
No. See, here's my problem with like anything that remakes like those early, are they even '90s cartoons? I don't even know what year they came out, but there's just the violence is not the same.
Yeah, it's
Like,
really toned down.
Yeah, like Tom was trying to kill Jerry. Like he remorse for his family or what pain he was going to feel. He didn't care. He was just out to kill a rat.
He jacked up a bunch of houses, like running around, trying to chase Jerry, and it was great.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I learned that mice love cheese, and no matter what happened, Jerry was always going to fall. Yeah. He was like, "Oh, you put some cheese out, Jerry will come out, and that'll be that."
Holy shit! So the Ferris Bueller TV show did air from 1990 to 1991, and the only two celebrities I recognize from this cast is Jennifer Aniston, who played Jeannie Bueller, and Richard Rail, who played the principal. Everybody else, I don't think, had a career after that.
In hindsight, Jennifer Aniston kind of does look like the curly-haired sister.
Does.
Yeah, I would look it up, but I don't care enough. I don't care.
Oh shit! Cloris Leachman was on that show too.
You know what? There's one more show that I think would make a great series. Willow would make a great TV series.
They're making a movie.
Another Willow movie?
And Warwick Davis is coming back
as Willow.
He would. I don't think he's doing. Yeah. Old Willow is he gonna have a baby, and then that baby is gonna be Willow the
and
second.
Continue the mantra.
Follow that.
What about Val Kilmer?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just saw that
I think Val Kilmer got fat, man. I don't think he's
gonna play fat Matt Mardigan.
I've never seen Willow. Like when I was a kid and Willow would come on like network television, I would skip it.
I love Willow. Willow is great.
All the people I talk to that have seen it love it. It's like Legend. Like people love the movie Legend.
I've never seen the
Tom
movie
Cruise.
Legend,
but it's one of those things that if it ever came on, I just go, nah, I'm okay.
With Willow as a kid, I used to watch it all the time, but now as an adult, I haven't seen it again, and I frankly don't remember all of it or any of it. Same thing with Never Ending Story, Willow, even the Ewoks cartoon, the movie I used to watch often and a lot as a kid, and now I if somebody would give me
go
ahead.
Did you say the Ewok movies?
Yeah. It was a movie, and then they did the cartoons.
The Ewok movie had starred Wilford Brimley.
I didn't realize there was an Ewok movie.
Yeah.
I just
it's funny.
Heck, there was even a Star Wars holiday movie.
The holiday special.
Yeah, the holiday special. Yeah, I know the holiday special because everyone makes fun of how notoriously bad it is, including Robot Chicken did an episode about it.
That's when Chewbacca has the son Lumpy, or
there's a part where it gets oddly sexual for some reason.
Well, it was the 80s. It's a different time. It was a different
Chewbacca
time.
suddenly has a wife and a son named Lumpy, and
grandfather named
weird. Scratchy or whatever.
It's really weird.
Did in the vein of 80s movies, it's holiday season, right? It's, I think Thanksgiving is next week, and some people have already started decorating for Christmas. Are you guys have any favorite like 80s holiday movies?
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
John
and Steve
Candy.
Martin. Yes, it's
Steve Martin.
It's probably I don't know if there's another Thanksgiving movie, but this is probably my favorite Thanksgiving movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I have like I don't even know if they're 80s or not. Well, I think Gremlins counts as 80s, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 80s is one of my favorite movies. Is one of my favorite movies, and or Die Hard is another one. You guys like Die Hard? Consider it a Christmas movie or a holiday movie?
You know, with the Gremlins,
a lot of people do.
The Gremlins, I love the Gremlins. But there's just this one part in Gremlins where it just gets really weird when Phoebe Cates is talking about how her dad died, and it just stops the entire movie, you know? And she tells this really dark story about how her dad dies, and then what's his name? The guy.
Yeah, the curly haired kid. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and then he's just like, well, I'm sorry that happened, but we got to take care of this gremlin problem right now.
It's like, well, I mean, he had to move the plot. Somebody was trying to get an award for writing, and they were like, "This is not the time," but they added it anyway.
They shoehorned that scene in there. It's like,
yeah, like Phoebe, we're gonna make you somebody, okay? Don't worry, just say the line, and then she said it, and they're like, "Okay, we got to move on now."
You know, it's funny. Despite all the violence and gore that happens, that one scene, like when I watched it as a kid, like that's the only part in the movie where I went, "Oh God."
It's funny, and someone reminded me of this today, which is the scene in Gremlins where there's a spoiler if you've never seen it, which is they put a gremlin inside a fucking blender,
and a microwave, and a microwave.
Yeah, I mean that movie is I don't know if it's for kids.
No, it's really dark. It's really dark. It's that Joe Dante type movie. He makes those dark, humorous type movies. He made The Burbs.
The Burbs? Who's in that? I don't think I've ever seen it.
And it's about this suburb family, and there's this one house that's really creepy, and they think that dead bodies are in there.
I think it was shot on the Universal lot.
Yeah, it's really dark, but it's dark humor.
Yeah, you know, what other like 80s? No, these are 90s movies, but the Home Alone.
I was about to say that, but I thought it was in the 90s, so I didn't open it. But you can't have Christmas without saying, "Keep the change, you filthy animal."
That's not true. They did it all the way into the 80s. With all these other movies, I just mean that Home Alone is another staple like holiday movie, and I mean,
I love.
What year
Christmas Vacation.
Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase,
Randy Quaid. It's great.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it. You're expanding my horizons here, Jay, because I got to watch. I have to watch Christmas Vacation. I have to watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And the funny thing is, my brother-in-law, he loves. I think it's on his Vudu account. I can just go and watch it.
You need to watch Christmas Vacation. It's really funny. Like Randy Quaid steals the entire movie. Every scene that he's in, it's just funny.
Randy Quaid is the same. He's the same Quaid from Independence Day.
Yeah, he's the kamikaze pilot.
He's a crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, who was the president?
Bill Pullman.
There
you go.
He gives a legendary speech, man. Legendary speech. Juan, you have any other 80s?
No, I was thinking definitely of Home Alone. That's my holiday movie, but old school, I really, and you guys are going to make fun of me on this one, I really enjoy It's a Wonderful Life. Like you can't have Christmas without seeing that at least one time.
You know, I've never seen that movie.
I
really?
Yeah. I've had many Christmases without watching that movie. I'm good.
I mean, I know the plot of it, but I've never seen it. You know, my favorite all-time Christmas movie is A Christmas Story.
Is that
I was going to say
it's the kid that wants a BB gun?
Yeah. It's so funny. Like it's my favorite Christmas movie. Like I know like TBS will run it like 24 hours. I would watch a good 3 or 4 hours straight.
Yeah, it's so funny, and I think like some of the jokes they don't age. You know, like the dad getting that fucking leg.
Oh, the leg lamp, yeah.
And for Christmas, yeah, and then it comes in a box that says Fragile, and he's like, it must be French.
It must be French.
yeah, it's just fucking ridiculous. It's so tacky.
The bully is my favorite. Scott Farkas.
Yeah, and he's a little ginger kid who just hates everybody. His teeth are so small.
Yeah, he has a little minion too.
Yeah, he does.
You know, I remember seeing the movie once or twice, but I only remember bits and pieces of it.
Oh, you got to watch the entire movie.
Yeah. You have to watch it again, man. It is good. It is good, and it's classic because he really wants that fucking BB gun. He's daydreaming about that gun. He's like, I think if this was a PG-13 movie, he may have been having like a wet dream about that fucking BB gun.
Dude wants his gun.
Yeah, man. He was like, "Come on, mom. I just." He goes to Santa Claus and try to get it.
Doesn't Santa Claus kick him out, like, down the slide or something like that?
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah.
He tells him he's going to shoot your eye out, kid. He's like, "I'll get you something else. You shoot your eye out."
Shoot your eye out, kid.
Yeah, that's so, man. The Christmas Story is great, and they play it a lot. And I think like once a season is good enough for me, but it's just funny. It has some good jokes in it.
Yeah,
What about
it's
the
Juan.
Charlie Brown special?
Those are
Yes.
always
The Charlie-
depressing to me.
Yeah, well, I enjoy the Charlie Brown specials, but now that Apple has them, I don't know if they're going to give them up for free.
They will
they're
on the Charlie Brown Thanks the Christmas and the Great Pumpkin. I think the deal is that they will show them, and I can't remember what dates, for free, so that people won't lose tradition.
You know, if depression were animated, it'd be a Charlie Brown's Christmas.
It's true. It's yeah. That and I think that's the point of it is that like Christmas isn't always happy for everybody, but Charlie Brown he's perpetually depressed. Like,
yeah, he's got some
I don't
issues.
think he's ever actually been happy in that show. Yeah, he's like he's a bald kid. He's like 10. I don't know what he's so stressed out about, but he's stressed out.
Well, some of his friends are dicks.
I wouldn't know what that feels like.
Oh, Charlie Brown.
You go straight to Peppermint Patty. I thought Lucy was the bigger dick to Charlie Brown.
She was.
Well, Peppermint Patty, yeah, she was, but like Peppermint Patty was just she was trucking over all those kids. She was like, no, we're gonna do things my way over here.
Yeah,
fucking great. She even had that one kid that called her sir.
Yeah.
So there's oh god, I lost my train of thought. So talking about some more movies, TV show talking about TV shows. Is there any TV shows that should have gotten movies?
I mean,
there's
I'm still waiting on the Arrested Development movie.
Yeah, that's fuck my life, man. Yes, the Arrested Development movie. Juan, did you ever see Arrested Development?
Bits and pieces.
Oh,
you need to watch it. It's on Netflix. I would say the first 3 seasons are you can stop there unless you're super into it, because like seasons 4 and 5. Do they have 6 seasons, Jay? Or just
Didn't it come
5?
back and do an extra season on Netflix?
It did, but they ended up.
yeah, it's not as good as the first 3 seasons.
Yeah, what happened was they did season 4, and people were like, "What the fuck happened?" Then they did season 6 to kind of season 5 to close it all up, and then they ended up remixing season 5 because they had told it out of order. They told it like a Tarantino film.
Yeah.
So they remixed it so that people will be less confused when you watch it the first time.
Well, I'd heard that a lot of the actors' schedules were conflicted, so they couldn't do their scenes together. So a lot of the scenes were kind of shot without the other actors, so that's why they couldn't do it all together, and that's why it felt disconnected.
Yeah, it was super weird, and I watched it because I was a fan of the show, and it had its moments, but it didn't have the charm of the first 3 seasons. It was just It was good. You should watch it, Juan, if you haven't. It's funny. It's genuinely.
I probably
funny.
will, because the few episodes that I've seen, I really like.
Yeah, and they're supposed to do a movie, but I don't think it's going to happen. Psych did 2 movies.
Yes, they have.
Psych did.
They did the holiday
did
one
2.
and Lassie Come Home.
Yeah.
I want to see
I've heard the TV
Community movie.
Yeah. Did they have a movie?
No. But they always talked 6 seasons in a movie.
Yes. You know what? And they did a season that was on Yahoo for like I think that season was the only thing Yahoo ever did of any consequence.
Yes.
And then that was it. They burned down Yahoo. There was you said Willow earlier, and I don't know why this is on my mind, but I would want to see a new Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie. I know it had a movie, and then the show is based on the movie, but I would want to see.
The show was so much better than the movie. The movie had Luke Perry and
Christy Swanson.
Yeah.
It had its own charm, but it wasn't as dramatic as the show ended up being, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think if it had
I don't think the movie was supposed to be that way.
Well, no, it wasn't, and Joss Whedon, who did both, ironically enough, was like he wished that he could have made it as dramatic as the show was. So I just wanted him to come back and do it because I just recently watched it and I thought this would be fun to watch again as a movie.
I don't know.
That's fair.
I
That's
think
fair.
because how many seasons were Buffy? There's a lot, right?
8 seasons?
But
No.
it went on for 7 seasons.
I mean, is there
8.
stuff to wrap? I haven't really watched the TV show.
It continued in comic form as well.
It did. I mean, and if you count the comics, it went on for 12 seasons, and it got like super out there. I think Joss Whedon kind of like went crazy once he realized, he was like, "What do you mean? It's cheaper to just make some shit up and have somebody draw it?" Okay, so he kind of went like left field. Like he if you follow the show, you know, in the last season of Angel, or the second to last season, he had an entity give birth to itself, and then basically linked all the major events of the show to making it happen. So Joss Whedon went a step further in the comic books and had all the events that happened between Buffy and Angel and the subsequent seasons that happened in comics, all to give birth to a villain who then was this villain for the first season in comics.
Because in the Angel, it continues with Aftermath, and that's with the end of the world, right? Because the TV show ends with them in an alley, essentially going to go fight the creatures of the end of the world, and then Buffy ends with the destruction of Sunnydale and all the fucking Slayers being awake, right?
If you made a movie, if you made a Buffy movie, how would you get new viewers to watch it if they hadn't watched the TV show?
I think you make one kick-ass trailer.
Yeah, I think you do what everybody does. You make a flashy trailer, and then you put a movie out and you hope people watch it.
It's kind of,
Speaking of, you guys see the new Wonder Woman trailer?
No, but it's coming out on Christmas on HBO Max.
Yeah, I know. Merry Christmas to me, man. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. You know what I watched? And this is not even close to what we were talking about. I watched New Mutants.
Oh, didn't you mention like 2 episodes ago that you didn't know if that movie was ever going to be released?
I didn't know, and then I turned on my Apple TV. I was looking for something to watch, and I thought I was seeing stuff. I was like, New Mutants, is this the same movie? And it is.
Is it good?
So
is it any good?
It was entertaining. It wasn't great, but you can tell the movie needed some help. It's I kid you not when I say there's like literally 7 people in this movie, and it just kind of seems all over the place. But and I read an article that said that Fox was willing to reshoot the entire movie because the budget was so low that they're just like, the cost it doesn't matter. We'll make it back. So yeah, but I don't know if you remember the first trailer, but it was set to be like a traditional horror film.
Yeah, I remember. I remember it being kind of scary.
And they did some reshoots, and whatever they did is what the final product ended up being. And I really wished that they had committed to the vein of horror, because it would have been super unique. It would have been in the Fox cinematic universe along with Deadpool, and it would have been good. I think it had a chance to be good, but they I think the Fox merger kind of ruined a bunch of stuff for all those people.
Yeah.
It also opened up a lot more, because I think because of the merger, Disney tapped in and wanted to continue with more Alien movies and Predator movies, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, it ruined. It took a movie that I think, because it had mutants in it that they potentially wanted to use. They're just like, I don't really care. Do whatever you want with it, but it shouldn't. Don't make it good, because this isn't a part of it. It's not a part of the MCU. Like I feel like this movie could have. It has potential. It has a lot of potential.
Did you see the MCU is now going to start tapping into TV shows?
Yeah. In fact, WandaVision, I think, got a date. I think it's January 2021. Yeah. I can't remember.
That's the Scarlet Witch and Vision, right?
Yeah.
It's that movie is supposed to kind of
TV show
be a prequel to that TV show is supposed to be a prequel to Phase 4 or 5.
Yeah,
of the
it's
MCU.
Supposed to open up the multiverse.
Yeah. Speaking of the MCU, so the other thing I wanted to ask you guys about was about sequels that were greater than the original. And since we're talking about the MCU, I personally believe that Captain America: The Winter Soldier is a far superior movie than Captain America: The First Avenger.
It is.
So
what about Thor?
Ragnarok.
Thor. Thor Ragnarok I think is probably the best Thor movie there is.
Yeah.
I think if they could do what they did with Superman Returns and just say, you know what, these other movies after that don't exist, I think they would, but they're not. But Thor Ragnarok,
I watched all the Superman movies.
Yeah,
I binged them from the first one all the way to Man of Steel.
Man, that's some true grit. I got to Superman 2 and Man of Steel, and then I needed a break, and then I started the Donner cut of Superman 2, and that is where I stopped.
The Donner cut.
Stopped.
What is it streaming on?
I don't think it's on anything. My brother-in-law happened to have a copy.
Yeah, I had it on iTunes. It's funny. I watched Superman Returns, and I know Julio. He's one of our listeners and a good friend, and he posted on our Facebook.
He's our top fan.
Yeah.
Top fan on Facebook.
Yeah,
so go Julio.
He posted on our Facebook page that in Superman Returns, his biggest gripe was that Superman lifts. Superman lifts this. Superman lifts that. But that's what Superman does in all his movies. In everything that he does, all he does is lift things and catches things. He's just this guy that just walks in. Oh, you dropped this. I'm sorry. You dropped this here. But he does it on a grander scale. But that's what Superman does. He just lifts things and punches things.
It's true. It's true. And I was watching Man of Steel, and it's a scene where he's fighting Feora outside of the IHOP, the Denny's, whatever the hell that restaurant was, and he's getting completely fucking mixed by this girl, and my wife goes, I thought that he was as strong as that. I'm like, yeah, but he's not a fighter. He's a farm boy just throwing haymakers. She's like a warrior.
What was the name of that kid? The nerd kid that's the manager of IHOP.
It's Pete Ross. It's Pete Ross.
Yeah. I wanted to see more of his story, because like you see him as a child and then you see him being the manager of an IHOP and you're like, how did he get there?
This is my favorite scene in Man of Steel is the scene after he saves all the kids from the bus, and he saves Pete. But Pete's mom sounds so fucking pissed that he saved him. He's like, my kid was on the bus. She saw what Clark did. And the mom's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm like,
he saved his life.
This kid fucking risked his life to save his life. Why are you being such a fucking bitch? You're in this house drinking her coffee. And then poor Clark is outside.
These people out in Smallville, they have no gratitude for anything.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, it's so fucking ridiculous.
It is really funny. But let's get that Pete Ross spinoff movie.
How I became a Denny's manager, or IHOP manager.
Because honestly, Pete Ross has seen a lot of shit. Like,
it's true. He had to watch like his restaurant be torn apart by aliens. Like he has to explain this to the regional managers, like, of what happened.
I used to be this big time bully on but then I almost died in this bus accident.
yeah, it's fucking nuts, man. What about Terminator 2 or versus Terminator 1?
I love Terminator 2. Yeah.
It's true. I think Terminator 2 is like lightning in a bottle. I think like whenever I have any memorable scenes of Terminator, I think they've all come from Terminator 2.
Yeah.
What about Dark Knight? Would you say Dark Knight is better than the first one?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's dark. I mean, the Dark Knight's a Dark Knight. It's like every comic book fanboy's like go-to defense about DC movies.
Oh yeah.
It's like, well, what about the Dark Knight? The Dark Knight fucking jags off everybody in their sleep. Like, yeah, man. The Dark Knight. Don't get me wrong. Dark Knight is a great movie, and I said this earlier tonight to some friends, which is that the Dark Knight is good. It is a good movie, but it is put on a pedestal because Heath Ledger died. I think that he was a good Joker, and I think that he performed well, but his performance is put on a pedestal because he died.
You know what? I got very confused when Joaquin Phoenix won the Oscar for the Joker, and they're like, "This proves that comic book movies can be taken seriously and get Oscars." Didn't fucking Heath Ledger end up winning the Oscar?
He did.
So
he did, but
huh?
Yeah, exactly. He won it post-mortem. He got it because the Academy was like, we got it.
Fuck that. He did an Oscar-worthy performance.
He did. I don't think he would have won it if he was still alive.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. I'm in the same boat. I think he did a great
I
job. However,
disagree. I think he would have won it.
I don't think
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
man.
at
I
the
think he
time
would.
they weren't recognizing those types of movies as legitimate like cinematic masterpieces. You know, there was just kind of like a blockbuster summer movie schlock. You know,
Yeah, and he was still. I mean, he was still Heath Ledger. He was still 10 Things I Hate About You,
yeah,
Heath
yeah,
Ledger.
he
He
was
was
a
still,
Knight's Tale
Knight's
you
Tale.
guy.
know,
Knight's Tale. Yeah.
yeah, A Knight's Tale, and who had just done this edgy Nolan film, you know, and he did a good job. He had yet to have proven himself. Like Joaquin Phoenix has done tons of stuff. He was Meryl. He swung away in
Yeah, he
Signs.
already
You know what I
won an
mean? Like,
Oscar for Walk.
Gladiator, didn't he?
No, no, the Johnny Cash biopic.
Oh, Walk the Line.
Yeah, Walk the
yeah,
Line.
yeah. So I mean, so to say that like comic book films, I think this is more of a recognition of Joaquin Phoenix's talent and what he did with the Joker role than it was about it being a comic book movie, because it was so loosely based on any like actual comic book storyline. So I mean, again,
No,
Heath Ledger did a good job.
I just remember either during his speech or his one of the Oscar interviews where he's like, "This just proves that comic books can be considered," and I'm like, "Wait a minute! I thought the Nolan films were considered for like visual effects and shit like that," and then Heath Ledger won the Oscar for best actor in that one.
Yeah, but again, it's
Well, yeah,
post-mortem, you know.
I'm
Oh,
just
so
saying.
you're
Any,
of the belief that people let them win, Jay?
No, I'm in the belief that they gave Heath Ledger the Oscar because he died.
No.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that the only reason he won that Oscar is because Heath Ledger passed away. If he had not passed, he would have been close. But then Kanye West would have got on stage and said, "I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish." But whatever other movie had the greatest movie of all time. You know what I mean? Like that's just a fact of the matter.
Yeah, no, I disagree.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
going
I
to
mean,
respectfully disagree.
That's all right, man. You sit on your island all by yourself.
Well, here's the
man.
thing about comic book movies. They're good movies when they're good movies and not just a comic book movie, you know?
Yeah, like Captain America, Winter Soldier. I don't think anybody won anything for that, but that's a great movie.
It's a great like espionage thriller type movie, you know? And it just happens to have Captain America in it, you know? Like that's what makes it so
It's
good.
true. It's very true. If you strip everything about the Marvel universe away from that movie, it's still a compelling like spy movie. It's great. And Thor Ragnarok or Ragnarok, is that what we're talking about?
Ragnarok.
Yeah, the Thor Ragnarok had figured out the MCU timing and pacing, and they had really used like Heath Ledger. Nope, not Heath Ledger's. Chris Hemsworth. They used his comedic timing, and it was unlike any other Thor movie before.
Oh yeah,
like the first two Thor movies. Is that the fourth? The first two, they were like they had rode on this like he's gonna be a Norse god, like
God, yeah.
Norse, yeah, to the point where he threw a glass on the ground and asked for another one. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think they want like once they eased up on that, they were like, okay, this guy can be funny. It can be charming to have him just be normal.
Mm-hmm. That one was my favorite one, and the two additional characters made it funny. What was their name, Jay?
Korg and Meek.
Yeah.
Core.
Off,
yeah, he's made.
You know what?
He's made of rocks.
You know which sequel was better than the original? Which movie? Paddington 2.
Is that the
I
bear?
never watched Paddington 1.
Yeah, it's fantastic, dude. Hugh Grant plays the villain in it. It's great.
Yeah.
I never watched Paddington 1, and maybe
it's a travesty that a lot of people have not seen the Paddington movies because they are amazing.
I'm just kind of curious why you saw the Paddington movie.
Because it's good. It's really good. You know, a lot of the producers from the Harry Potter movies made the Paddington movies. You didn't know that, did you?
You know what? No. I mean, yeah, I didn't know. Juan, did you know?
No, I did not.
You know
All
what?
Then.
Do yourselves a favor and watch both Paddington movies. You will not be disappointed.
You know what? You know what? Because when you say Paddington, it's like a almost live action CGI,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what was actually pretty good? That was like close to that. The 10 movie. And you guys ever watched that?
Was that the dog one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That the little ginger kid running around with the dog. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I recommend. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you watch it.
I'll watch Tintin if
what
you
about,
watch Paddington.
if it's streaming somewhere for free,
I'll lend you my
Sure.
DVDs.
DVDs. No, I have a DVD player. I do. I still do somewhere.
And then you can lend them to Juan.
Juan, are you gonna watch them?
No.
I think think your kids would love
Yeah,
them.
I'll probably put them on and watch them with the kids.
What about Spider-Man 2? Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2.
No.
I love it.
didn't
It's
like
great.
No, you didn't like Spider. Why didn't you like Spider-Man 2?
Here's the thing. I do like Sam Raimi as a director, but all three movies, he made them very campy, very Sam Raimi-ish. I think we discussed this in one of the episodes that I realized I was watching a Sam Raimi movie, A, when I saw his brother in the film, and B, in the scene with Doc Ock when his tentacles start killing everybody that he's being operated on.
Yeah. We talked about this a couple of episodes ago, but he's the villain of the movie.
No, I get it.
don't
No,
understand.
that I didn't have an issue with that. I had the issue with the fact that of the horror B-rated screaming the nurses or the people who made, and then I think they even did like some sort of homage to the Evil Dead, where one of the tentacle grabs like a chainsaw type thing and cuts up people. Man.
Well, here's the thing about Spider-Man 2. That is the perfect example of a comic book movie. You know, like it's a really good comic book movie, but it's not like a movie that's going to win an Oscar for like acting or directing or anything of that.
Yeah, and and honestly, the reason why it's so good is because the first one was so long and thorough about the backstory and where the hero was when you leave.
I did
so
like
you come
that
back
one.
in. It's by leaps and bounds better than the first one, but only because the first one was as good as it was. If that makes any
I
sense.
actually liked the first one a lot better.
Well, Spider-Man 2 ups the ante in so many different ways. You know, it really pushes Peter Parker in so many different limits, where the first one, it's a good introduction to him becoming Spider-Man and Mary Jane and the Green Goblin. But the second one really like tests Peter Parker as Spider-Man.
Yeah, it does. It's a good hero's journey. It's he goes through this period where he wants to be selfish and he realizes that he can't be, and he still has, it's good.
Yeah, it does what a sequel is supposed to do. It ups the ante and it makes it even more exciting than the first one.
Yeah, and then you got Spider-Man 3, which hey,
well,
emo
shit
Spider-Man.
happens.
Sometimes you swing and you miss.
Yep. It looks like we're coming up on time. Juan, are you done, or you still?
I still disagree with Spider-Man 2. But yeah, I'm fucking done, dude. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you can't get enough of us, you can find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at INCYCSHOW. Also, you can email us suggestions and comments at INCYCShow@gmail.com. Lastly, but not least, we have merchandise. With more on the way, get your very own I'm Not Crying, You're Crying shirt. Just follow the link in the show notes. And everybody, have a great night. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night. Bye.